everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be filming my June budget. You may have noticed I didn't do one for May. This semester started May 8th and it was really crazy right from the get-go. I had every intention of doing a budget, but I wasn't even back on island until the day before the semester started, and it's basically just run away with me since then. So as you can see, my nail polish is looking crazy. So I've had time for like next to nothing, but I still have lots of goals for myself financially. So I have a little bit of time right now to actually sit down and look at my budget. I literally looked at nothing for May, but luckily I had some income from a couple different sources already so far and paid down some main things, which I'll talk about basically as we get to them. So let's just go ahead and get started. I have my computer over here to the side right now, and it has most of my numbers on it. So let's just put my planner to the side. And I'm going to be using these Erin Condren rollerball pens, which I really like, even though I'm a little bit mad at Erin Condren right now. If you want to hear that whole story, let me know and I can make a video on it, but they're starting to disappoint me, unfortunately. But so yeah, I'll be using these pens, which I've had for a while, and this notebook to do most of my numbers, and then I'll transfer my numbers and my math I'll do in here like usual, and then I'll transfer over. Let's use this teal color. Okay, so if you've never seen these before, I usually start in US and then end up changing it over into the local currency, because for money I'm spending down here, that's what I spend it in. So so let's just go ahead and look at the money that I have. So PayPal, I have $651.78, cash, $179.30, checking, 2263.58, and then savings, 501.72. So if you're wondering why these numbers are like this, I paid for something through PayPal, but the money came from my bank account that ended up getting returned to me, so that's why that money is sitting in PayPal. I also have a little bit of money in there for my Etsy shop, my like printable stickers. Cash has been from decals that I've sold while down here, and some of my belongings that I've already sold this semester. So I had quite a bit more than that, but I've been buying food on campus pretty frequently, which I'm going to try to start cutting down, but so that's where that cash is from. Then I try to keep most of my loan money in my savings so that when it accrues interest, it will accrue more, because for however long, like if there just happens to be a good amount of money in there at that time, it will accrue more interest. And then there's some money in checking, because I moved a bunch over to wait for some checks that I've written to go through. So that's basically just excess from waiting for those checks to get taken out, which they're all taken out now. So I'm probably going to move most of that back to my savings, but this is what I have right now. So, oh, and also some of the money in my savings was from, I sold my car. I made that first payment, so there's money there from that as well. Okay, so my grand total in US is $8,116.38, and so I'm gonna take out the amount that I want to return, and then my goal for what I want to return, the amount that I'm gonna save for this upcoming break, and then I'll use the rest to plan for the rest of the semester, which is the next 3 months, June, July, and August, even though it's only like about 3 weeks of August that I'll be down here. So it's kind of complicated, because at the end of this semester I'm moving back to the US, So I've already bought my plane ticket, so that's fine, but there's gonna be a few more expenses than normal. Normally I save $1,000 for myself over break for things I need to buy to bring back down here with me, going out with friends, paying for my luggage to get home, paying for my luggage to get back here, you know, vacation fun stuff, and also just a buffer to have in my bank account because charges take forever to go through down here, so I never want to overdraw my account. So this time when I get back to the US, I'm going to be moving from Maryland to another state that's about 12 hours away. So I'm going to need gas for that. I'm going to be setting up a house that's not going to be furnished, so I will need like some amount of furniture, you know, like a bed, mattress, probably like a little kitchen table maybe, couch, TV stand, like the bare basics basically. And the good thing about that is that those things, unless I can randomly get lucky and find another student when I'm done there that wants to buy them all from me, I'm actually going to try to buy things that are cheap, but things that I do actually like. That way, when I move to wherever next, I can take them with me instead of having to sell it all and then buy it again. So, and then also I'm going to have to pay rent on a place, which I don't know how much that will be yet. And I'm going to have to pay deposit on a place, pet deposit. Don't know how much any of that will be yet. You know, got to pay to set up internet at a new place, all like getting a new house set up. So I know if it comes down to it, my parents will help me with that stuff, but I don't want them to have to. So, because I have, you know, I have the money from my loans. So I want to save for myself $4,000. And the thing that's kind of complicated about that number is that about the time that I'm expecting to need this amount of money, the girl that bought my car should be making another payment. So most likely when she makes that payment, I won't actually be needing all of this worth $4,000. I'll be needing more like half of it or less because her payment will be $2,500. So I'm waiting for the school to tell me when I need to be there, because if when I need to be there is after when that girl will make her next payment, then I can send more back because I will have her payment to rely on. But those things are, I know this is super confusing, but those things are still up in the air so far, and I don't know when I will find them out, but it will be, when I find out, it will be in a time frame that I can still send back more money on my loans this semester. So as soon as I find out if I will be able to use her money, I'm not going to save this much. But just in case, I'm going to plan on saving that much. And it's okay for me to set this amount aside mentally, because even if I don't end up actually saving that much for break and moving and all that, it still needs to be saved because it's going to get returned on my loans. So I know that's really confusing. Hopefully it makes sense in some type of way. But okay, so the amount that I'm planning bare minimum to return on my loans is $2,500. Like I said, if I get money from her in time, it really depends when I need to be at the school for clinics for my orientation. Then this number will grow. And also, if I sell a lot more decals, and depending on how much money I get from selling my belongings down here, this number may also grow. So with that in mind, the amount that I have for the semester is $1,616.38. So that's for the whole semester. So we'll divide that by 3, which gives us $538.79 per month. So just to keep a little buffer in my bank account, I'm going to call this, round down and call this $530, which is equivalent to 1,431 EC. So just to make it easier on everyone, we're going to call that 1,430 EC. That's local currency. And when I was coming up with these numbers earlier, I only got as far as this, and now looking at this number, like, there's no way I'll use all of that per month, so this number probably will end up going up. But you know, like I always do, I'll reevaluate it when I do my July budget, and then I'll reevaluate it again when I do my August budget. And hopefully when I'm doing my August budget, I will know when I'm needing to be at my next location and whether or not my next payment for my car will impact these numbers in any way. So, all right, let me get my planner. Okay, so let's go ahead. Now that I have all my numbers worked out here, let's go ahead and transfer them over here into my categories. So my available amount, $14.30 in the local currency. And then my categories are going to be, I don't need to pay rent. I already paid that for the whole semester. So my categories are going to be gas, which is lower than you've probably seen it before because it's going to be $75. I have a rental right now, which I've already paid for the whole semester, and it's tiny and really good on gas, so just going to do $75 there and probably won't even use all of that. Electric, don't know how much that's going to be until the end of the semester most likely, but just want to mentally set some money aside for that, so we'll do $300 for that. Campus food, $350. So that just means that I could probably eat almost every day on campus. I don't eat every single day on campus, but if I wanted to, I almost could. Probably like all but 2 days out of the month, so that's fine. Delivery, I gave myself enough that I could probably get delivery once a week if I really wanted to. Probably won't use this full amount, but you know, I'd rather have it set aside and not need it than go over budget. And then fun, give myself $250. This is enough that I could go to the movies like 3 times a month and then also to dinner once, which I probably won't end up doing anything that often, but just in case. And then groceries. This is also a lower number than normal because I already prepaid for a full semester of a produce delivery from some local growers. So this is just supplementary things like toilet paper, paper towels, staples, basically other than produce, and also fruit because they've mostly been giving me veggies so far. I only got bananas once as my fruit. So okay, so let's just add that up, make sure that's all correct. So 0, 3. Okay, so that's all good. Alright, so this is going to be my budget for the month of June, and I'm not going to show you cash envelopes because I'm not really going to use them. I'm only going to keep cash for campus food because that's the only thing that I have to pay cash for. They don't take cards at most of the places. Well, one place does, but I pretty much don't get anything from there because it's kind of junky. But so that's the only thing I will use cash for, so I'm going to save my cash for that just because everything else takes card, like delivery only takes card. Oh, and the movies only takes cash also, but that's no big thing. Because last semester I used all cash and I kind of regret it because I had to pay cash fees. Like, it wasn't too much, but even in order to get this amount, I would have to go to the ATM 2 days in a row because the limit amount that they give is 1,000 in the local currency. So even though this is only a little bit more than 500, in the US you could get it out of the ATM no problem most likely, but down here they only will give you, actually I'm pretty sure mine only allows me to take out like 800 local currency at a time, which is super weird. So basically, in order to avoid paying those fees, I'm just gonna hang on to the cash that I have right now, use it for only things that require cash. And the cash I have right now is from selling stuff, selling decals and like my belongings. So hopefully I won't ever need to go back to the ATM this semester, because hopefully I'll be getting enough money through selling those decals, selling my belongings and stuff, that it will cover my campus foods and my anytime I'm going to the movies. So yes, we will see about that, but that's the plan so far. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!